are your thoughts about substance abuse within the adolescents?
Like this youth, particularly here, it's a little too much, and I think that it to me, my fear surrounding is that someone just does too much. They just take it a little too far, and that's all it takes. I mean, people will talk about this idea of experimentation and things like that, but you guys have enough information given to you by parents, older siblings, teachers, TV, whatever, that you know the effects of some of this abuse. And so it's desperate. It's desperation. This self-medicating is just a desperate cry for, I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to do this thing that is seen as a rite of passage, but really isn't. There's plenty of kids in this school that do not touch a drug, ever. Ever. I mean, in their lifetime, they won't do it. And there's a couple kids who get out of pocket, and then they get caught, and then, cancel the dance. So anyway, I hate to say.
Many believe that marijuana doesn't have any bad side effects. Do you believe that? What are your thoughts?
I mean, to think that anything doesn't have any bad side effects is just naive. It's just naivete. Now, the idea that it doesn't have bad side effects for some and it does for others is something that's just, I think, true. Once you've seen anybody, you don't even need to experiment with marijuana to know that. Just look at some of your friends and how they start reacting. And I laugh a little bit because it can be humorous, but it can also be quite dangerous. So it varies. Like any drug, like some people can drink 5 shots and they're like, yeah, and they're fine. They don't throw up, or some people take 2 shots. It's praying to the porcelain god all night long. Just hold my hair. I mean, it's bad news. So that's why I think the idea of a person, your adolescent especially, wanting to experiment means that you have to find, if you can, if this is even like a non-oxymoronic statement, find a safe place to do dangerous things. You don't want the first time you get drunk to be at the sorority party in college, yeah, because you probably won't wake up in your own bed with all your clothes on. I'm just saying, it could be a problem.
Why do you think the adolescents feel the need to subject themselves to marijuana use? Do you think it's mostly peer pressure?
Mostly peer pressure? No, I think it's mostly curiosity. Honestly, and we learn cool phrases like curiosity killed the cat. I mean, it's their curiosity. Like, what is this? What is this going to do for me? How is this going to make me feel? Then there are kids who are less curious. They're like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how I'm going to react to that thing. So the appeal, I think, would be curiosity. And then a very close second, if this was Family Feud, curiosity, bling, number 1 answer. 2, bling, peer pressure. Because if your friend's doing it and you want to be friends with the friend, then you may do what the friend's doing even though you disagree with the friend. Have some integrity.
If you're in position to regulate laws, how would you go about marijuana use? Legalize it, yes or no? Why or why not?
That is a very, very solid question, and one that many would want to shy away from. But if I were the maker of all laws, I would do I would put together almost like a task force to look at now the current status of this drug that has led to a lot of people being incarcerated, I think, unnecessarily. A lot of waste there. But I would look at the entire issue that are raised. I would look at Colorado, I would look at California, I would look at these states that have decided to move forward with this medical practice primarily, and then other states that are looking into recreation and stuff. And I would sit down and talk with law enforcement agents, and look at arrest records, and look at crash reports. I mean, do a comprehensive report to see what the effects of it is. The financial gains are very enticing, but you have to be careful with that because that's the same thing that drives the drug dealer to keep hustling until he gets caught, right? The money. And so, you throw all these big numbers. Colorado's made 70 million, 100 million, some are reporting. That's a lot of money to put into programs that could do a lot of good in the end, but at what cost? And so I would want to do that before I made any law, but I would allow states, of course, to make their own law as they feel is necessary for them, because California can't possibly have the same set of laws as Idaho in terms of marijuana use. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my tractor. Okay, you're on the tractor smoking a J. That's different than being on the 101 in your Honda, blazing and hotboxing on the way to the show. So you gotta let people recognize and regulate, what's best for them. But
what attempts have you seen that are making a difference in diminishing this problem?
In dealing with the problem? specifically like teenage youth. I honestly feel like the greatest thing that I've seen and that we as like teachers, administration can do is sort of show our population that we have a heightened awareness of their actions. It's like we know what we're doing. We know what's going down, okay? We do. And the reality is what we're trying to do is not take away your rights or strip you from having what you quote unquote will call fun. We're trying to make sure that you're making the best possible decision even as you're making bad ones. And again, it kind of seems like a double-edged sword, a sort of backwards compliment, or what you want to call it. But the idea is that for us, your safety is paramount. It is an absolute number one thing. I don't give a damn if a kid doesn't have my paper if they don't feel safe in my class, or they don't feel safe at school, or somebody's going to beat them up, or somebody else is trying to, get them to get high with them alone. I'm not going to be your friend. So I think the safety issue is what's most important. And you got to remember, like, the more freedom you guys have, the less safe you are.